Connect yourself with the word so you're always online. Sonic can run fast, but my lord is always on time. I was doing the word, but only to check off the list. My lord didn't do me like that, so why would I do him like this? It's time to push his agenda, even if the odds are stacked. Because he makes a way out of no way, and he's got my back. You feel the pressure, huh? That ain't enough. We fall down, but now it's time to level up.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Hopefully you guys can all hear me because I closed up everything. Can you hear me, Geronimo? Okay, wow. I can't hear you. We are all over the place today. Nope, I still can't hear you. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. Hold on. Yeah. Yeah, we... Okay. Hold on. We're having technical difficulties. Hold on. Chat, can you... Okay, Jazzy said the audio is good. Chat, can y'all hear us? Can you hear me? Can you hear Geronimo? I can't
Wait,
hear you.
hello? Can you
Oh,
hear me
now I can hear you. Yes.
I totally knew what I was doing. No problem. Totally knew what I was doing. And I'm a professional. You know. Just kidding. What's going on, y'all? Sorry for the funny intro.
Man, we are all messed up.
They're trying to take us out. Square, Times Square.
Yeah. Listen, Square. This man right here. I'm I'm like finding new people on my hit list, like on a daily, with Digital Foundry. It's crazy. It's crazy. We gonna get into it
Okay.
because there was a guy before him that I didn't like. Now I don't like him, and now they got a new guy that I don't like. So
You know what's funny about that dude? I've only seen him in like a, I think his name is Oliver or something like
yeah,
that.
it's Oliver. Yeah.
Yeah. To me, he's like the most recent person. But the few things and clips I've seen, with him on it, I think they
Mm-hmm.
brought him in specifically to focus on more of the handheld side. Now I don't know if that means Switch specifically
Mm-hmm.
or PC handheld. It might be both, whichever. But yeah, so that's interesting. He's part
Yeah.
of Digital Foundry stuff now.
Yeah. He like is a man, and like he has like a natural lisp too. Like I have one too, but like
Oh yeah.
his net like but he like the way he talks, like you can see his whole mouth just like this. You know what I'm saying? And like
Yeah.
every time he talks, like I just dial it on his mouth, pause. And it's just like man, like angle your camera like just a certain way, but like
hmm
just cuz like yeah, that's my personal problems. But anyway, how is everybody doing this beautiful Saturday? We are having a wonderful time moving into spring. Michigan is slowly getting warm, slowly, very, very, very slowly. Um, but yeah, how you doing, Geronimo? You all right?
Man, I've been doing great, man. Like this week, well, it's been busy, just personally work-wise, but it's the weekend, so we're doing
Mm-hmm.
great. Like we were talking about on the pre-show, I just saw the new Marvel movie, Thunderbolts. Very good, especially on the chat. MCU fans, if you've heard people say, "Oh, it's one of the best movies post Endgame," and if you got doubts, it is really good. It is very enjoyable. It's
That's good.
premature, and it
That's
does
good.
give some hints on the future Avengers stuff. But yeah, other than that, it's been great, man. Just a lot of good gaming out. Expedition 33 is a
Yeah.
banger.
Okay.
It is a
The Vito
banger.
said the same. Vito said
It
the same.
it is like it really does feel. I've seen people saying on Twitter and not so much Blue Sky, but mostly on Twitter. Some people are
Mm-hmm.
calling it like French Xenoblade. It low key kind of is. Like it's giving Xenoblade vibe, and in some ways, not 100% one to one, but it is giving some of those vibes. And then this picture is the world map. You kind of walk through it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, y'all know the dilly. Really, before we get into it, y'all see what it is. We gotta pray in, and then we'll jump right into our icebreaker. So, Father God, thank you for gathering us here today in droves already. We really appreciate the love, the care, and the kindness that you give us, and we appreciate this time, the circle that we have together to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, but mostly giving praise to you, God, because you allow us to do so and give us the space to talk about our comforts. So as we move forward with this wonderful podcast, we ask you to keep your hand over it and make sure that our conversations and our hearts and our thoughts are always positive at the end of the day. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right. So with that being said, we've got a little bit of an icebreaker today. Not super special and not super long either. This overall conversation may not be the longest. I don't know if Jack is jumping in. I don't know if Vito is jumping in. But the icebreaker. Well, actually, let me read off some of this stuff before we jump right into it, because y'all are throwing in some stuff already. So Jazzy said they flip flop. They flip flopping like a magic carp out of water. Facts. Splash only.
That's right.
Jay said during his laughs live, Baron called this digital foundry guy the Penguin. That's
that is so funny.
I can see it. I forgot about the folks who didn't finally until just now, thanks to certain doctor. Oh yeah.
Same RJ, same. Doctor, he's been on the roll lately.
Yeah, that's funny. He says, so now I think of him as the Penguin from now on. Super facts. Hi, Jessica. How are you? So, jumping right into it. Our icebreaker for today is, and this goes out to the whole chat. So, moderators, if you could throw the question in the chat. What accessories are you planning on buying for the Switch 2?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I've actually been going back and forth on what to get and what not. Well, it's more so the only one I was really eyeing, like for sure.
Yeah.
I was trying to get the second dock just for my setup. So I can not have to unplug everything from my desk setup, like where I'm at now, where I usually have the Elgato and record or stream, and then for the actual TV, so I can see that 4K for the Switch 2.
And all its 4K glory.
And all its 4K glory. That Metroid Prime 4, baby, man. But yeah, now I'm not really sure, just because I might be able to figure out another way to just have everything on one dock on my desk and just change the cable out or something. I'm still kind of working out some other things. Actually, Dark Void said getting a micro SD express card. That's actually interesting. I was going to post this on Twitter, but I actually decided to wait until the show. So, after the pre-orders went live, of course, on the 24th, April 24th, on Amazon, I actually ordered that Lexar 256 gigabyte micro SD express.
Too.
Yeah, because when I saw the game size, I was like, yeah, let me go ahead and scoop this. And Amazon was saying, oh, okay, we got you, bro. And they had a delivery estimate of like May 12th through the 27th. And I was like, okay. So basically, as long as I get it by June 5th, I'm good. This joint, I don't know if it pops up. This joint, it did not. Oh well. This joint popped up at my front door like 2 days ago.
Yo.
So I actually got it out of nowhere. So now we just ready. So I'm good on that for now. And the only other accessory I'm looking at, I'm kind of going back and forth on like a grip handle for the Switch 2. I think I mentioned it before the other week on the show. I think I might just use the Switch 2 as it is, just to kind of get to see how the bigger size of it and the bigger Joy-Cons feel ergonomically, and then maybe get one later if it becomes an issue again. But I'm definitely gonna get a case as well.
Yeah.
Other than that, so far it's looking like a Switch case and maybe a second dock. Maybe.
No screensaver. No screensaver.
Oh, I'm glad you remind me about that. Okay, yeah, actually put that on there. I'll probably have to. I'll probably have to get like what was it, N Film or whatever that brand was.
Yeah.
Because I did that for the 2017 Switch, which was essential early on for sure.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So,
What up, Vito?
what up, Vito? So,
Oh, there
thank you, Brand Smith, for throwing in the icebreaker for us. Really appreciate that. Ib said, I won't get the camera because I haven't really actively chatted with people online since Left 4 Dead on 360. He said I'm old. Squared said nothing. I'll stick with my Switch 1 stuff and the Joy-Con 2s that come with the Switch 2 until I save more money. But the Switch 2 Pro controller will be my first accessory I plan on getting. Okay. Jazzy threw out there an express card, but I'm waiting for the 1 terabyte one to go back in stock. I feel that. Yeah, that's gonna
I've
be.
never seen it in stock.
Yeah, that's gonna be part of my answer, but we'll get to that in a second. Then he said, already got the Pro controller and getting the GameCube NSO controller. I feel like this time I haven't gotten one of the Switch Online's like specialty controllers. And I was like right there on the 64 one. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I thought about it. I thought about it too back then, yeah.
You know?
And then I just decided to get a what do you call it? The Retro Fighters.
Yeah.
One of those.
But this time around, man, I don't know. I may have to. GameCube is a little bit different. Like, you could get away with the N64 because of the movement patterns of it with the current controller. I don't know if that's gonna be exactly one for one messing with the GameCube like that. So
yeah, I'm honestly just gonna stick with my GameCube adapter from Smash 4 Wii U. Still got it, and I only have one cord wired GameCube controller. I have a couple of older Wavebirds, but they're like I don't think they work as well much anymore. It's been so long. But yeah, I'm probably just gonna use traditional GameCube stuff and just be wired.
Yeah, it just feels like an easier time, a better experience.
For sure.
Brand Smith said a micro SD express card is pretty much mandatory, so that and eventually a Pro controller is what I plan on buying. I feel that.
I think you might be able to eke by for like the first year. I think it depends on what you're trying to get. Like if you're not trying to get that many third-party things and just Nintendo, maybe some indies digitally, I think you'll be good. You'll be straight. Yeah. But if you out there like, oh, I gotta get that Yakuza, I gotta get that what else is coming? That Hogwarts Legacy. I gotta get Madden at the later this year. Then yeah, you probably need that.
So I think when you start loading up, like you said, when you start loading up on all these third party things, is that's when you gonna start getting yourself in trouble.
Facts.
He said he has all the NSO controllers. That's what's up. I don't have that kind of money. Kids.
That's dope.
Ib said I'm gonna use my old Switch Pro controller. I feel that, and then get a Switch Pro 2 Pro whenever the first limited edition Pro controller 2 drops. I'm hoping for a Various Suit edition for Prime 4. That'd be sweet. That'd be real sweet.
That's exactly what I said the other week on. That's exactly what I said. I was like, I'm gonna wait because that first year they had that Xenoblade 2 one, and I was like, dang, that looks nice.
Yep.
Why didn't I wait?
I got the regular one. The
regular one does look nice though, and it's got the back buttons too, so that's good.
So, Vito, eventually, when you decide that it's about that time for you to get a Switch 2, you've done everything you wanted to do. You good, you set. The Switch 2 is not a hard piece of plastic to go out and buy at this point. What accessories do you think you want to get?
Hey, first of all, can you hear me? Okay, cool. Is it low?
You sound low.
Yeah, it's a little low.
I don't know if your gain is low or.
Can you hear me now? Is it louder?
It is louder, just by a little bit.
Okay. So let's see.
It sounds like something is like
Sorry,
turned
guys, I gotta
down.
get this. Right.
Yeah.
Sandstorm. Get it on.
I turned it up. Yeah.
You did. Oh,
I got you at 150. Yeah.
150.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the max, ain't it? All right. Hold on. Can you hear me now?
Good. Yeah. Yeah.
I know, right? Every time yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe I gotta like talk like.
Yeah.
This. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. It's just a little
Alright,
lower.
alright.
Like you sound clear. It's just lower
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah. You're clear.
Yeah. All right. As long as I'm clear. As long as y'all can hear me in the chat and stuff.
Yeah.
That's probably where my concern lies. But anyway, the first accessory, GameCube controller.
I feel that.
Well, I mean, it'll kind of probably be GameCube controller and Pro controller at the same time. But most likely, yeah, like the controllers. You know what I'm saying? That would be my first accessories. Then it'll probably be the camera. Then, I don't know. I think that's it, really, actually. I think I'll just kind of see how those kind of go first, and then I'll start adding more accessories and stuff like that. So, all right. Thank you, Brandon Smith. But yeah. So, yeah. GameCube controller, Pro controller, then the camera.
I feel that.
Yeah.
So for me, I was kind of like Geronimo.
What's going on, Joycey? I didn't see her in there.
I was kind of like Geronimo. I went and looked up that 1 terabyte, and I've been like mashing that reload button. Like, it's gonna show up one of these days. One of these days, it's gonna show up. And to no avail. I even talked about it a little bit earlier, and it wouldn't show up. So a few days ago, I want to say I ordered mine on Monday or Tuesday, or it could have been Saturday last week. But mine just showed up Wednesday. So yeah, it had to been Friday or Saturday of last week. The 256, because that's the only one available now. Like, I even looked up the 512 and it wasn't available. So the 256 Express, you're gonna at least need something. So I grabbed that. So I guess that's the accessory that I already have. When I pre-ordered at GameStop, the extension. So let me say this. I don't ever really buy warranties on my Nintendo systems. For me, for the most part, they don't ever really mess up. And I know the guy was kind of like, well, you never know what's gonna happen with the whole Joy-Cons this time around, blah 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 blah. And it's my boy at GameStop. And normally I'll be like, bro, come on now, you know me, I don't buy this stuff. And I wasn't really worried about the Joy-Cons anyway, because I feel like this time around, like, Nintendo will probably have it. You know what I'm saying? They definitely ain't gonna use the same technology that they used before. You know what I'm saying?
I hope so.
I hope,
especially for the Pro controller, because I mean, my Pro controller, it's got drift. I can
does
clean
it?
It does.
Wow.
And I found out when playing Bayonetta 3, when I couldn't do some of my back forth movements for the moves, and I was like, oh. But I can probably, it's easier to open those up and clean them, so I can probably clean it just in time for Switch 2. So.
Yeah, so so I'm like, so at this point I'm just like, yeah, I hope it don't mess up. But you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and throw the warranty. I'm gonna throw the year warranty on there, just because I had it at the moment. You know what I'm saying? So through my year warranty.
I didn't even think about the little SD card. I'm gonna add that on there too.
Yeah. It's not like you go. To be honest with you, I don't think you'll, like, none of us is really gonna need it in that first year. It just don't hurt to already have. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much why I'm doing it, because I didn't get one for like my Switch 1 until like later that fall 2017, I think, or it might have been 2018. Yeah.
And like Geronimo said, especially when you start playing Nintendo games, all of them are going to be, you know, I feel like max maybe 25 to 30 gigs max.
And
But
that's with
most of them,
DLC.
yeah, and most of them going to hover around that 15 to 20 mark. You know what I'm saying? So you're really not going to run into that space problem until later. But or like we said, third parties. And even then, I feel like it's kind of questionable at this point if they are using game cards. So it's one of those situations where you might be good for a little bit, but it, like we said, it don't hurt. It don't hurt to have one on deck. So I went ahead and got the year warranty, and the year warranty also came with screensaver. So gotta have that screensaver on there, just in case. I never had the scratching problem with my OG Switch, putting it in the dock. I really feel like that was just people like trying to push it towards the edge, you know what I'm saying? Like trying to plop it in there weird, like, you know, and it's just like, you know.
I knew someone that did. I think it was just part of the like some docks with the launch shipments in the first few months. I think some of them were a little warped. Because mine, I still have mine. It's actually on my desk right now. I have my 2017 dock, and I never had that issue either. I was never really concerned about it. It was more so just out and about using the Switch. You know, back then I was actually like, hey, I have a Switch. I'm like outside and showing people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now it's like more so out in the house or whatever. So we're at a homeboy's house. But yeah, I don't think it was really as blown up as a lot of people made it to be back in 2017.
Yeah. Dang, Joycey said she's got 4 pro controllers and all of them have drift. That's crazy. Y'all be manhandling these boys.
All that drift?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, shoot, that Smash Bros. Pro controller, that was a lot of Splatoon 2 and Splatoon 3 and a bunch of other stuff in between.
I mean, it made me wonder how many QuickTime events y'all been playing that's got to do the with the knobs. You gotta run it around.
God,
get out of there! Get out of there! Get out of there!
Oh
get
man, so many. Oh man, if it was like a Mario Party 1, it would have been over. That old school tug of war, you'd be over there.
Moving the controller, you ain't even moving the sticks now.
Right. Yeah.
So
Bayonetta did do
Oh,
it for
man,
sure.
that would do it.
Yeah.
That would.
That's really what it was. Like I halfway through the game and I start like Bayonetta would move to the left randomly, and I was like, oh nah, this can't be. Started looking at that 8-bit Dell controller.
Yeah, so definitely with the screensaver, I had to pick up the screensaver. Kind of like you, Geronimo. I think this time around I didn't buy a grip for my OG Switch, but I do think I want like a little grip setup for the handheld. You know, when I throw it in handheld. I do want a battery at some point in time. Definitely want to pick up a battery pack for whenever we travel. I think that will be like so necessary.
That's a good call, actually.
Yeah,
we're not back at the. I think we're back at the lower end battery life.
Yeah,
again, like
yeah.
maybe 3 hours.
Yeah, 2 to 3 hours again. Yeah. And that's with the, you know, that's when you look at the brightness, you be like,
yeah,
3.5 hours. Yeah.
Start digging it more. Like, squeeze another 20-30 minutes. Battery life.
So yeah, I really want to buy a Pro controller, but like I already got a original Pro controller. I do have my 8-bit right here, and it doesn't seem to have an audio jack on that either. So that may come sooner than later. Pause. And then the only one that I'm like the most curious about, I feel like that's the best setup. The one I'm most curious about, and the one I'm kind of doing the most shopping on actually is the camera.
Oh yeah.
Cause I have somewhere around here, I have a USB to USB-C converter. and I'm curious if that will work for like even the camera that we're using right now, if that'll work for that, or if you have to have like an actual USB-C camera. You know what I'm saying?
I actually, I'm glad you mentioned that, Sandstorm, because that's actually something I do want to do in like testing as well. Like, 'cause I just have I mean, right here, it's just like a Logitech, like a 1080p one or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's a USB-A. So I think I need to get like a USB-A to C adapter
Yeah.
of some sort, like kind of like what you're talking about. And
Yeah.
if that does work, man, then I will probably use that.
Yeah.
Like, I
hey,
will probably use it for Mario
save the
Kart
money in your
especially.
pocket. Keep
That's
money
it.
in your pocket.
That's exactly what I'm looking at, man. That's exactly it.
Yeah. That's a good point, because now, like, I wasn't going to invest in the 4K Elgato, so now if I get that,
It's almost 8
I
o'clock.
can use my Elgato I'm using now, or try
Oh.
to use that on the
Yeah.
Switch too. Hopefully. I'm gonna do some experimenting too. So now that y'all say that, now I can.
Yeah, save that up a little bit.
Yeah.
At least think about, you know what I'm saying, what's going on. I don't know if I'm gonna definitely make sure that it is compatible.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not like some proprietary port on the top of the Switch too. It's just
No.
another Type C.
Yeah.
So if anything, it'll just, I don't know. Maybe the converter will act up. I don't know, but I'm definitely gonna try it.
Yeah, I'm hoping that's the case. I'm also hoping that too, that the dock still has the USB ports, and I'm wondering if you can get away with throwing the camera on there, because they weren't really specific, right? They said you need a USB-C for the Switch 2, but they never really said you need a USB-C for that, including in the dock, or if it shoots the signal directly from the Switch 2, you see what I'm saying, to the camera, or if you can just do it from the dock. So it's it's a couple questions there.
Unless there's something different with how that converts, that whatever they have for that port is a converter. Because I know the dock itself, I think it's like the Switch OLED dock, where it has on the left side it has one USB Type A port and then one Type C. Yeah, and it was also they on that Nintendo Today app. Definitely checked it out off and on every day, because Nintendo be putting they've been putting like every day, they've been putting like 3D models of stuff. Like they had like the Pro controller on there, they had the GameCube on there. So yeah, I was able to look at it. And, yeah, so hopefully we can do that.
Yeah, they've been throwing some slickery up there every now and then.
Nice little way to spend
Because
5
even in
minutes
the
of your day.
calendar, even in the calendar, they don't like specifically outright show you what they're gonna show off or talk about the next day. So
True.
you gotta be in there. So J Big said, FYI, you can't wake the Switch 2 up with the original Switch Pro controller. That sucks.
That's surprising.
Yeah, it's not a detriment, but it does suck.
Yeah, I'm gonna just have to get up.
Yeah.
Press the button.
But, however, then that brings up the question: can you still use the 8-bit-O? Because I know I can use the 8-bit-O to wake up the original Switch.
I'm hoping we can use it. I mean, that's gonna be like literally when I do my unboxing video for the Switch 2 stuff. That's probably gonna be one of the things I'm gonna test for sure. I got a lot of content prepping for it. That's definitely one of the main things. I'm gonna have like my slew of like third-party controllers. Be like, can this work? Can this work? Can this work? Yes, no, maybe so.
Yeah.
I will hope so. I really hope so. if not, it is what it is. We back on the Switch Pro controller.
Right.
I'm gonna clean it up.
Let's see. Squared said, well, let me start from the bottom and work our way up. Joycey said, or just in the middle of a combo, and you can randomly change the records. Oh, so she's talking about Bayonetta.
Yep.
Squared said, I only use the Switch 1 grip once and never again. I only use the Switch 2 grip to charge the Joy-Con. Oh, I'll only use them. You know what?
The grip.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which is kind of interesting to me, because that's like the number one question I have is like, how comfortable is actually the new size Joy-Cons? You know what I'm saying, with the grip? Because that first one, I think I maybe played the first 20 hours of Zelda with the Joy-Cons, and the Joy-Con grip, and I think it was Juice who was like, "Bro, you gotta get a Pro controller. You got to get a Pro controller." And I'm like, not like my hands is okay. Like it's not really that bad. And then I got the Pro Controller and was like, oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it was weird, right? Because like I'm trying to think. So Switch One launched for me. Like I went to the GameStop that in the midnight, and I got the Switch. I got the official case, and I got a Pro Controller, and of course Breath of the Wild. I think I played a bit of Breath of the Wild, and then later Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with just the Joy-Cons in the grip. So I just really wanted to check and see how it felt and everything, and it was decent. But like you said, once I tried it with the Pro Controller, I was like, oh, okay, that's it.
Yeah. Now it makes sense. Now you know, okay, yeah. I got you. So everybody in the chat, if you are just joining us, our icebreaker, Brand Smith threw in there. What accessories are you getting for the Switch 2 that you plan on getting for the Switch 2? Leave your thoughts and your comments in the chat. We will still shout them out if you get here a little bit late. But thank you. Joycey said they're very comfortable. They don't feel like they're cutting into your hands, but still Pro Controller all the way. Okay. Yeah, I forgot. Joycey got that insight. She already got her hands on Switch 2. So yeah, she's our expert. She's our expert right now.
She's one of the selected few. That's good to hear, though, Joyce. I'm looking forward to trying the new Joy-Cons for sure. I'm gonna give them a good, honest try, at least for a few days. We'll see. Yeah,
because we all got Mario Kart as the first, and to me that's like like the Boondocks. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, the game cheat.
Like the game cheat. You see my controller? Look at my controller. Look at my controller. Look at my controller.
Yep.
If I push the button, look at my controller.
I'm pushing the button. It ain't working.
Nah, the game ain't cheating.
Mario
Look
Kart
at my controller. Look at my controller.
Oh my god. Oh man, we're so close. Mario Kart's about to take over for the month of June, man. At least.
In 3 days, we will be 4 weeks away, which is crazy.
It's gonna go by kind of quick.
Yeah,
it's gonna go by kind of quick.
Yeah. She said Cyberpunk is going to be the darling of the launch year. At least I hope. Yeah, that's funny. I remember those days. Yeah, you always gotta give your friends the bad controller.
The Mad Cats.
Hey, you know what's funny, fan store?
Wait, what?
You know what's funny? Like growing up, I never did that with you, but I was like thinking it, like dang, I just gotta like play it off, like, oh no, you got me, but I'm thinking to myself like, he's cheating. Stop it.
This gotta be the bad controller. I know you gave me the bad. Look, it feel loose. The stick feel loose.
Right, it's sticky. This
I know, we had the inconspicuous stain. You're like, yo, nasty, bro. Y'all gonna be cleaning your hands for you. Now, honestly, at some, there was a point back in the GameCube days. We had, had some friends over, and I'd be like, look. We had the pizza or whatever, the typical weekend hangout playing the game. I'd be like, look, you better wash your hands. I don't want this pizza grease and Dorito stuff, whatever on the controllers.
They got marinara sauce
on it. Oh, God.
It's gummy. It's gummy now. I can't even push the button down.
The button's sticking.
The button sticking.
That happened to like the Mad Cats. There was I can have a lot of stories just random third-party controllers, man. Me and my friend, we need to get 2 GameCube controllers just to play Melee. After school, whatever. And we just went to the closest GameStop, got 2 Mad Cats for like $25. That purple one, the A button stuck within like a week.
Yo, the Mad Cat, the C joint, the little yellow C joint, like it, that stuck permanently.
Oh yeah, it was limp. It was doing the hill.
Weird.
I've never seen a right stick just stay there.
I'm like, I couldn't.
You can't push down on it because it's level. It's like smooth.
Oh goodness.
Oh, and guess what I messed it up on? I was playing Enter the Matrix.
Oh yeah.
Sitting up here going to the slow-mo part, and I was like, oh. Hey, Why this ain't?
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's funny. A
you
lot of them
betraying
controllers, you could hold up. You could literally hold up and be like, "Look, it's limp to the side." You know what I'm saying? Like, it be moving when you angle it.
oh my god. That's why I'm actually glad that we do have like we had like the calibration stuff in the Switch menu.
Yeah.
Because now I can see how badly they're jacking up.
Yeah.
One of my Joy Cons, like the left stick, instead of just being there in the center, it'd be like it'd be over there just shaking. And I'd be like, see, there it is. I'm so serious. Like I see that look, and I'm just like, that's all I gotta see, man. Like, it's crazy. What a journey. What a journey.
It's done for.
It's
Yeah.
done for.
So we have for our main topic today, very interesting set of conversations. Both of these actually came within this week, which is
Hey, who's the guy that's behind you, dog? That look crazy. Like the way it look like he's looking at you.
He's trying. Like, what you about to talk about, Sandstorm? What we about to talk about? I might have an opinion or three.
dot his eye out.
I see his face.
My man's.
He was
My
real.
man is what's his name from Ghostbusters 2, you know what I'm saying? Ivan.
Oh yeah. Oh wait. Yeah.
With the smile, yeah, with the smile, you know what I'm saying?
Yo. Shout out to Ghostbusters.
Shout out to Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
So our first topic is Digital Foundry, man. They did something crazy. Crazier than what they normally do. So for he's going to eat with his lisp. Pause.
We already out of pocket in this episode.
Right.
way left out of pocket.
All right.
Right. So Digital Foundry, they we're talking about the Switch 2, and I'll bring up some of this footage in a second so y'all can get kind of a reference. But they were talking about Switch 2 and making their well, now we know they're educated guesses. They ain't really doing no real analysis. That's I think that's the point that I've come to the conclusion of. Y'all not actually doing real analysis. And so they came up with this quote unquote analysis a week or two back, sometime right after the original Switch 2 like full reveal. And then what ended up happening is they were wrong. And so they got on their backup channel to have this conversation about them being wrong about some things. And then they still doubled up on some interesting stuff. So for reference, let me pause this for a second. So for reference, I'm on a podcast. You're going to have to look around. Sorry. You're going to have to look around. That's all I can tell you. You're going to have to look around. So for reference, this is one of the videos. They kind of go straight into it, talking about Metroid Prime 4.
Move on. Metroid Prime 4. Now, this one is obviously interesting because it's a Switch 2 version of a Switch 1 game that's been in development for some time. And
all right, let me just stop you right there. Let me just give you some context. So they're going to talk about Prime 4 and how it's actually capable on Switch 2 because it really is, and I quote, let me throw us this way real quick.
Hey, I don't like being.
You.
I feel like I'm part of a YouTube short immediately.
Ow!
I'm gonna let you keep going.
But what ended up happening is that they're saying that this Metroid Prime 4, the reason why it's so capable and able to do 1080p, 120 frames, and 4K at 60 is because it's really actually a Switch 1 game that they just ported over to the Switch 2. So it's really just a Switch 1 game. Let's go on. Let's go on.
And well, we know the headline figures, right? It's going to be running at 4K 60 frames per second, and there is a 1080p 120 FPS mode. And yeah, there's been some sort of conjecture online rather about the Switch 2's capabilities. 4K 60, wow, this is the sort of stuff that PS5 and Series X is doing, and 1080p 120, ditto. I think the thing we need to bear in mind here is that this is a Switch 2 port of a Switch 1 game, and not just a Switch 1 game, but a Switch 1 game that looks so good that people kept asking us if it's running on Switch 2 when it was running at 900p 60. So the concept of the Switch 2 version providing like a 5 times increase in resolution while maintaining the same frame rate isn't beyond the realms of possibility, judged by the generational leap from Switch 1 to Switch 2. So I think that's worth bearing in mind, that this is ultimately a Switch 2 version of a Switch 1 game. Now, that's not to say that you still can't have superb artistic design.
Question. Question. I'm going to put my hand up. Mm-hmm. I got a question, teacher. Yeah.
I got question.
How many times have we heard them talk about, and I mean, I'm just, this is for the chat mainly, because I know, Geronimo, I know you said you don't really watch Digital Foundry, right, like that. Vito, I don't know if you do or not.
Not so much recently.
Yeah, I definitely
so how many times have you heard people talk about how capable a new system is, by their last generation game, and get put down by the previous generation? Like, I don't think when The Last of Us 3 came out, or 2, no, The Last of Us, when The Last of Us came out for PlayStation 4, like, the first thing, especially Digital Foundry, was like, we got to keep in mind that this is a last generation port, and that is the reason why it looks so good, is because it's a last generation port. Remember that. No, it was, it looks so much better than the previous generation, and that it can do this and this and this, and they're taking it to the next level. If you want the next level experience, then you have to get the PlayStation. I don't ever recall them being like, temper your hype, because remember, this is a Switch game. So it's not really all that capable. Just keep in mind. All right, let's keep moving.
Looks great
because we got to get to a
resolutions. Point. And that's exactly what you're kind of seeing here. But Tom, you went hands-on with this one. And what's interesting about that is that the presentation that we saw was not the 4K 60 experience. It was the 1080p 120 experience, and also with an interesting twist on the control method, right?
Yeah, the first shot at having 120 FPS game.
So Geronimo, since you were asking, this is Tom. Tom is the middle guy. He's the new guy.
He's a new. He's been there for a minute. I think he might not. Yeah, he has. He has. This is actually the first time I've seen him in a while. He used to be on there a lot more. Yeah, honestly, him, Rich, and God, what's the other dude's name?
Yeah, the one with the glasses. Yeah.
Yes, the dude with the glasses. Yeah, those are like the main three I know of.
Okay.
I think this might be the first time he come on. He's been on the camera in a while. Maybe.
Okay, because there's another guy too, and I can't remember. He kind of looks like him.
You're probably talking about Alex.
Alex.
He is the PC guy.
Okay.
He's the guy. If you ask him a Nintendo Switch thing, he'll be like, But my PC though, he's gonna be that guy.
Yeah, he definitely is that guy.
I mean, it's fine. At least we know it's not no mystery or anything.
Right.
That's just gotta understand.
gameplay, and also
let me get
Joy-Con
to the point
at
where
120. Going over the footage we kind of took, it's obvious that, just reminding myself of what I saw, there is some aliasing in view, even stood still, like, waiting to go to the next place, just stood still, figuring out what to do. You can kind of see some shimmer, some pixel crawl on some edges. So
I need Oliver.
So
I
anti-aliasing
need
might
Oliver's
have
conversation.
the game
Okay.
because
bigger buttons.
he's the one that they
But
leave up to having like the
position
numbers, right?
buttons you want to do, genes or whatever. There's kind of a
Display. I think you where that was the main issue we had with Cyberpunk to begin with, and it did look.
It did, although I have very limited footage of actually Metroid Prime 4. I have a lot of footage of Tom's hands. So I get a pretty good impression of the mouse and behavior in this game. I guess comfort will be one issue that comes to mind here, just in terms of that kind of claw grip. It's nice that you can transition, so wouldn't mind maybe a kind of mouse shell attached. Sushi, like that. The fire animations are like flip, but looking through some direct on stuff. We do have some 120 hertz footage from Nintendo, some direct feed capture, which does look very good, but looking through it just now, there are some compromises. The fire animations are like flipbooks, and they update at 30 FPS, 30 hertz, and the weapons fire from enemies updates at 60 hertz. Interestingly, if you slow it down, you can notice that.
Oh, interesting.
Maybe not too noticeable at 120 hertz in real life at real time, but if you slow it down, it's pretty easy to see. But it does look pretty good. But again, this is a game where 1080p, 120, 4K 60, what do you choose? The anti-aliasing, if it's present, does not look too great there at 1080p 120, so maybe go for the 4K experience, but again, losing out on that kind of nice temporal update there at 120 FPS is a bit of a downgrade there for sure. So picking what mode you go with here is going to be a little bit more difficult perhaps than with some other titles, I suspect.
Yeah, it's interesting, a point I'd like to pick up from Tom earlier about the actual output. We don't actually know what the output was, whether it was 1080p 120 or the system maximum, which I think is 1440p 120. You would obviously, if you could choose, have 1080p 120 because that should.
All right. So you got that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. I want to get right into the meat. Right into the meat. Pause. Super pause.
Pause in all levels.
Here we go.
Like, subjectively speaking, it's important to mention, like, it does look quite crisp and even 4K-like in some respects. Like, it's sharp, it's clean, it has some anti-aliasing treatment there, it appears, as well. Unlike the other versions of Prime 4, which are very raw. So the Switch 2 version at 1080p 120 is a raw, no anti-aliasing image. Likewise, for the game, it appears at 1080p, or rather at 900p 60 on Switch 1 in docked mode. It also appears to run without any anti-aliasing treatment.
Oh, yeah, we know.
Title.
Yeah, we know.
And this also has a 4K UI. So in my earlier impressions, I pegged it as a 4K image, but on further reflection and after some better pixel counts of the higher quality asset, it appears to be 1440p internally. Again, with some kind of reasonably effective anti-aliasing, with some upscaling to 4K. And about that upscaling, I'm not 100% sure what's going on. Now, if you scale the image that's provided here to 1440p, it loses a lot of detail. It kind of looks like FSR1-ish, but with FSR1 usually...
So this man is like all over the place.
Now, the thing, if you don't mind me adding real quick.
Yeah.
The thing I don't understand about these Digital Foundry guys currently on Switch 2 coverage, why are they pixel counting compressed YouTube videos when they should just be waiting to have the actual game in office, which they will, because like Lex said in chat, Eurogamer, who also hosts a lot of the Digital Foundry stuff, is owned by IGN, so they're gonna get access before June 5th,
right?
Eventually. That just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, why are they doing it and then passing on? Like, oh yeah, this is what it is.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense to me.
They are jumping on it. They are jumping on it so heavy. This part, I know, Vito, you'll this one will come clean.
Oh, I know about this one.
this one is wild. Like I'm still trying to figure out what.
This one, Oliver. I think we should start on some work Tom has done based on feedback for Street Fighter 6 Switch. where prior to this, we only had very, very limited assets to look at from that Nintendo Direct. And basically, we said native 1080p. It's not native 1080p, but investigating how it's upscaling has produced some interesting results, right?
So basically, as far as I understand it, Tom, originally pixel counted Street Fighter 6
It was
as having
Tom's
a
fault.
1080p resolution on Switch 2, which it turns out was just the output resolution for 3D content, because it does seem to count internally to 540p there. And indeed, when you actually look at those pixel edges, there is a certain characteristic that is indicative of DLSS among temporal solutions, which is that it has those curved edges. When you reveal an edge, it is a curved edge. And so we think that that is actually a title, interestingly enough, that's using DLSS. We believe that it may be using DLSS to upscale to 1080p, which is certainly interesting.
Now, what's so funny about this is they originally said that it wasn't using DLSS.
That always seemed like nonsense to me because like I watched a lot of the Treehouse footage, before these events started happening, and and they had a whole segment for Street Fighter 6, and then the more I looked at it, the more I thought this must be using DLSS, because the image, like the character models, because I have it on PS5. I haven't played in a while, but I do remember how good it looked. All the character models, the textures, the shading, the I don't know the technical term, but how the materials look for the clothing and how the body muscles are, it all looked very close to PS5. So I was thinking either they worked really hard to get this at just our base output of 1080p 60, or they might have done a similar thing to what like Monolith Soft did for Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which they have their own in-house solution where that game is actually like 540p.
Yeah.
But they use it to get it up to, not saying it stays there, but up to a 1080p resolution and image. So and now that they came back, we're like, oh yeah, DLSS is there, our bad guys. We'll
Right.
it just goes to show. It's just like you just can't follow. You can't take everything they say as gospel right now. They're not used to You're not used to detecting DLSS upscaling on bespoke hardware like the Switch 2. They're just all they have. The closest is whatever the PSSR is on PS5 Pro, whatever AMD equivalent that is, and then all the PC rigs in their office that they look at 24/7, and that's really it. So, and this is gonna keep going. It's gonna keep happening.
Yeah, it's
Intriguing too,
it's their
because
own
a 60
model
FPS
of
title.
DLSS.
We, as of yet, have not seen that, and this does appear to be that case. Now, interestingly, obviously, on the surface, that might not sound very positive, right? Because initially we pegged it as a 1080p 60 title. It's only a 540p 60 title, right? That's DLSS in performance mode. It looks like.
But look at that. Isn't that wild, though?
Yeah, like you can tell just looking at Ryu's face. Like the color looks better. The actual texture is better. The beer is more detailed than what's on the left.
Yeah. So and the one on the left is 1080p native. The other one on the right is 540 upscale.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a clean 2x resolution bump. 2x resolution bump. So it just, that's why I think a lot of the games like, Expedition 33 behind me are going to probably make the jump to Switch 2 in due time. It's, yeah, anyway.
But actually, when you compare it to Series S footage, it's quite nice there. And I think that was Tom's impression. That was certainly my impression from reviewing his footage. It does.
Oh, wait. Let me back this up because there's something here he says. Not what he says, but if you look at this picture.
Oh yeah! Wow.
Look at pause. But look at Ryu's muscles on the right.
Yeah.
It's quite nice there. And I think that was Tom's impression. That was certainly my impression from reviewing his footage. It does actually look better than Series S in some respects. Now it's missing some key rendering features from Series S.
So you see how his muscles expand and contract, right?
Yeah.
Most notably, perhaps screen space reflections. Those are not present. I think some other bits of environmental detail. Oral appearance. Yeah, I think it's good.
Also, getting rid of SSR, I would argue, is a very positive thing. And extremely distracting and ugly looking in every other version of the game. So that's a win for the Switch. I think the main thing it's missing is the muscle deformation system.
Exactly, Brand Smith.
The muscle deformation system. So the muscle deformation system is when they show like the muscles actually expanding and contracting, getting tight and loosening. You could clearly see. You could clearly see. They trying to find it each and every way to give this to lower everything about the system, right? And it's wild. It's wild because now and thankfully so, right? If you actually look at, and I'll bring it up. People are not happy. Their own sub base is not happy. If I could actually expand this for y'all.
I wouldn't be either if I randomly woke up one day and I see a clear cut Zelda sponsored or Nintendo sponsored Zelda upload on their channel out of nowhere with no communication of it coming.
Yeah.
That's very weird.
So, like, their fans are not happy now. Like, wait a minute. Like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Guy says, guys, I'm trying not to believe you're biased when discussing the Switch 2. Please remind Alex that Switch 2 is powered by NVIDIA 2, not just high-end PCs you usually benchmark on. If you're not sure about the Switch 2 performance, stop guessing.
Good. Fact checking. Good.
Yeah, a lot of people. Please stop guessing. Are you guys professional? Like, they're going in. Like, people are finally seeing, like, okay, wait a minute. Y'all are losing some credibility, you know?
Digital Foundry stocks are dropping, bro. They're dropping. Yesterday's price is not today's price. It's dropping in real time, man. And I hate this. I mean, I don't even hate Digital Foundry like that. It's just what they represent and how fanboys use them is kind of the problem.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
It's like the well, Digital Foundry said, well, this is what Digital Foundry's numbers are, and it's like they just like you and me at the end of the day. Yeah, they may know a little bit more, but they ain't the analysts that y'all think they are.
Yeah. Like, really, like, to me, they're at their quote unquote objective best when they have the actual games there and they're doing the side by side comparison. Not saying you should go on Twitter and be like, well, but this game renders at 792p docked and then in 346. Like, no need to do stuff like that. But it's good to have a good visual, so where what's showing is people lie, but the actual footage doesn't. So, as long as their equipment is good, yeah.
Numbers don't.
No, they don't.
Basically.
Right.
Numbers
don't. So let me catch up on the conversation.
It's been good in chat.
Yeah. Y'all been going. Yeah.
I've been going ham.
So Lex said, one thing I love about Nintendo, they don't give special treatment to no one. Super facts.
Jeff Keighley, salty. He didn't get the invite, and randomly he's like, "Hey, I'm here, guys," and I'm like, "Just stop."
If anything, they was gonna kick you out. You know? It's him. Make sure you get Jeff Keighley out of here. You know?
Before he drops more misinformation.
Hey, look, they did it.
Right this way, sir. Right this way.
Do him like my man's in Elf. Hold on! I just got a present. I just got a present.
Oh man.
Yep, sure you do, buddy. My name is Jeff Keighley. Yes,
you know what Jeff Keighley is? You know what Jeff Keighley is? He's the wrong Missy. You ever watched that on Netflix?
Missy?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Watch that and tell me that's not it.
Brand Smith said, you can tell it's using DLSS due to the background elements. Yeah. Joycey said, the only way I can tell is up close like this. I feel like that's a good thing. Street Fighter looked good when I tried it. That's facts. You shouldn't. I think at the end of the day, like, if you really can't tell the difference while you're just playing, not like doing the eye check, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just plop the game in, plop, and you just start playing, and it just looks like every other game you're playing. I think that's fine. I think you're good at that point. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
People ain't like, oh dang, it missed the frame. Ooh. I seen that.
These
You know what I'm
minuscule
saying?
things.
Yeah.
Not really going to be discernible to most people.
I would even say pop-in doesn't even really, well, at least me. Pop-in don't really bother me like that. Like, I see it all the time on Xenoblade.
This game has pop-in in it. This game has some slight pop-in here there on my PC. But everyone's over here saying, see, this is how Final Fantasy should be.
Yeah.
All that weird stuff. But
yeah.
as long as it's not, like, happening 24/7.
Yeah.
Or, like, in worst case, like, I guess... yeah, you know, it's manageable. It's fine.
Yeah, like if you just running and you just and then the monsters show up. Okay, that's a bad situation.
Like that happened in like a Dark Souls or something. Like they pop up 1 second and then they one hit you and you have to go back to the last campfire or whatever. Then that's not.
But
good.
if grass or a tree popping, I don't care.
Yeah, I'm not really tripping about that.
Brad Smith said Digital Foundry was getting roasted on their DF Clip channel. Yeah. It's crazy, and that was their backup channel. You had to find that on a backup channel, not even on their main stuff.
I think I'm subscribed. I used to be subscribed to their main channel, but then I stopped because I was just like, I think it was earlier this year. I stopped because it's how some of this coverage was going. I was just like, what are y'all doing, man?
Yeah,
like,
it's funny because they were talking about the Switch 2 and what we could expect from the Switch 2, and not to get your hopes up that it wasn't gonna have a 1080p screen. And then it was 1080p and 120 frames. And even now they're like bashing it. But then they did a coverage on the PlayStation, whatever the PlayStation handheld is going to be. And the supposed specs. And they were like all gushing and gooing over it. Like, oh, these are the right specs. These are perfect. Oh, these will definitely play PlayStation 6. And I'm just like, man.
That thing is gonna cost a band. Like I don't even know why. Anyway, I don't want to go
like yuck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yuck.
Yeah, the bias is clear.
Jazzy said, yeah, they said Switch 2 version didn't have the muscle. Yeah, the deformation. Yep. Yeah, it was clear. Yep.
Absolutely. Yep.
Brand Smith said they don't want to admit that their prediction of the Switch 2's power was more off than me thinking the Lakers would be. Oh yeah, that one definitely wasn't gonna happen. I can't even say that. I can't even respect.
Yeah, I mean in the first half, not gonna.
Respect to Vito. Respect to Vito.
Oh, that's rough.
Vito. That's Vito's team. So respect to Vito. But yeah, no facts though on the prediction of the power piece, because they definitely have really tried to stick to that PlayStation power gun. Like that's where the power is at, and clearly is more capable than that. And you can't even include DLSS with that. Like with that, it's even closer to Series S than it is to the Pro. So
yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's when they said that. That's when I was like, okay, so y'all just saying anything?
Mm-hmm.
Because even if on paper, the RAM, read speeds, the CPU clocks, the GPU. I mean, you can't even really compare the GPU to that from back then.
Right.
Yeah, maybe some of it is about closer to what you expect on paper, but it's got more modern architectures. We already know. I think it's got like equivalent to the NVIDIA RTX 3000 series, which is where the DLSS stuff really started popping off like that.
Yeah.
And so it just does. It's gonna continue making less sense as time goes on.
Yeah, and they'll never go back unless they go on their second channel again and be like, well, and it'll be a quick try.
Yeah, they're probably gonna try a new way to spin it without saying PS4 power. They're gonna say previous generation equivalent performance.
Yeah.
It's like
something something like the mid-gen refresh, but not quite.
Yeah, exactly.
Jazzy said, yeah, Digital Foundry uploaded that Switch 2 Direct trailer from Nintendo right on. Oh yeah, I can easily see that, and probably started pixel counting right from there.
Yeah, that was what I was referencing earlier, which was very weird to see. I saw that in like a forum I go on, and I was like, what? I clicked it, and I was like, I watched it because I thought it was going to be them talking about it for whatever reason.
Nope, it was
just a trailer. I was like, it's a bit off, but hey, trying times, gotta get your bread where you can, I guess.
Squared said, even if Digital Foundry fans are 100% Nintendo haters, misinformation towards your audience shows a lack of respect for said audience. That's facts.
Yep.
Joycey said, I'm going to defend Digital Foundry only a tiny bit. Nintendo does usually skip on power, and it's kind of surreal. Switch 2 is as powerful. No, that's facts. That's facts. They definitely were looking to make a premium system. But Mario Kart 8 drops 1 frame per. Oh yeah, the infamous Mario Kart 8, 59.8 frames per.
Yeah, I forgot what they called it, but you know it's funny. I learned about that much later after the fact. I think it was right before. I think it was right after 8 Deluxe came out on Switch, and I was like, oh, I barely noticed it.
Yeah, nobody ain't checking for that 1 frame.
Yeah, it felt smooth to me on Wii U. I just was happy to ride on Mario Kart 64 Rainbow Road and beautiful 1080p 60. Or I'm sorry, 59.
It's the one frame is a copied frame. So
yeah.
Like, oh, I see it. Oh, I see it. Oh, I see it. Oh, I see it. There it is. There it is. There it is.
People are not going to be counting that while they're trying to avoid a blue shell.
Wait, are we seeing the frame? Are we seeing the frame on the handheld part, or are we talking?
They usually count by like monitors or TV.
Yeah.
Typically, yeah. I mean,
I don't be seeing it.
So
I'm not a pixel
again,
counter,
like
so.
what I'm saying is, who's noticing that on the handheld?
Nobody. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Right. Exactly.
Give her her meds.
I'm on the thing. Give her her meds.
It's 8:32.
Hi, my kid.
It's all good.
Yeah. So hold on. Keep going on there. Yeah, there is a giant white guy behind me.
Only Xillia can say it like that, and I'll just genuinely laugh. Like,
it looks like he's saying Lois.
Look,
like
he wanted
behind you, bro. It's like Peter Griffin, like Lois.
You want to say something?
Hey, Lois.
He's the real life Peter Griffin.
Oh man.
Just
that's what his face is doing right now. Look at it. Look at
it. That's wild.
That's crazy.
RJ said it feels like Digital Foundry is doing this to be relevant to all of this, and IGN wanted them to click. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's IGN just doing that because they play these funny games too.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see more when they get their hands on the final Switch 2 product and be like the final preview of the hardware or whatever they're gonna call it.
Oh yeah, blowout, explosion, blah blah blah. Yeah.
Do these Switch games actually perform better on Switch 2?
Right. Miracle port. Joyce said I've gotten in the Switch 2 experience, and Jeff didn't. That is low key wild. No, he snuck in. His butt snuck in. He snuck in behind the curtain and was trying to take pictures and all this other stuff, and then he proceeded to try and bash them while doing so. That was wild to me. I think I still got that on my Twitter actually.
$80. No, what do you say? Nintendo games are. What was the first thing he said? Like Nintendo Switch 2 games are like $90 or something like that.
Yeah, and
it was like a while now, but yeah.
And that he missed the old Nintendo with the quirkiness or something like that. Something silly. But yeah, I say all that to say don't expect Metroid to win Game of the Year this year. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. It'll probably get nominated.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna get nominated because then he don't want to be caught with his pants down. Pause. But he definitely is gonna make sure that it doesn't win.
Right.
Lex said yes, Joycey, for real. He did sneak. He snuck in one of the experiences. They told his butt not to, and he ain't get no special pass, and that's why he threw out what he threw out. Lex said, I hope Nintendo is now fully aware about Jeff, fake, or I won't feel sorry for Nintendo because we all know that Jeff will never give. Yeah, I think after the Koji Kondo appearance, no, was it Kondo or Anuma? One of those two that showed up for the Game of the Year awards. It might have been Aonuma.
It was probably on for Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, and they cut him off.
That's right. They did do that in 2023, and I was like, y'all
Yeah.
wrong for that.
I think they were done. I think they were done after that point because I don't think they really showed up after that. I don't think they show up after that. Don't send Miyamoto out there. Don't let them. Oh, don't send Miyamoto out there. He cut y'all off. Like, you ain't getting this mic. You gonna think you gonna get this mic from me?
Miyamoto's low. Actually, I don't want to say what I'm gonna say. Miyamoto low-key has his ways, because when you read like certain interviews about him and how we kind of go, like how methodical he is about certain things, he seems like, you know, when we see him, we always see the bubbly, happy-go-lucky. Look at my son Mario, and isn't Pikmin great? You know, that thing he's always doing. But like when you read, like, I guess when they are trying to go to him in like in NCL in Japan, like for like upcoming games or whatever, he's really like stern about stuff. Like he's like foot down.
Oh yeah.
Which
I
I
can
mean, you
definitely
gotta
see
be.
it. I can see it. You know what he reminds me of? You remember? I want to say it's Romeo Must Die with Jet Li, and his dad. And his dad, you know, was talking to the one guy, and they smile. And then as soon as he turned around, he got that like real scary looking face, like I kill everybody in this place.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
that's how I see Miyamoto. Like he's just like, and then when you turn around, he be like,
I feel like he's got to be like that, like My Way or the Highway.
yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
At least in game development. I don't think he's really in any game development leadership roles anymore. But
no,
as far as I
like,
think,
he kind of just like tutors, not tutors, but mentors.
Yeah, he pops in. He's like, "Hey, how y'all doing? Good. All right, man. I'm gonna go over here and make sure this Universal Studios opens."
Right.
I'm sorry, it's Super Nintendo World.
Let me go count my money real quick. I'll see y'all later. All right, see y'all. Yeah. I just said like a YouTube channel does videos or games resolution and frame rates, but he lets the game talks for themselves instead of just blabbering. Yeah, that's super facts. Jeff loves Sony because he is given special. Yeah, well, and two because his girlfriend is on there, and you know I ain't gonna let it down. His girlfriend is on there. Kojima, like.
I was about to say. I was wondering. I was like, who? Like.
Yeah. Yeah, nah,
the bromance is so real.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure as of the last couple Game of the Year award shows, Kojima has broken it off with him, and like he's like the girlfriend that's like, you still mine though. Don't think you're going nowhere else. Like at the end of the day, I still got clothes at your house.
That's the reminder,
right? That I can come back in anytime I want to.
Have your fun for the night.
right. Man, he be giving them the hug. He be like, you know, that quick pat on the back, that like, that one.
Yeah, it's always looked kind of one-sided between Jeff Keighley and Kojima. Like the very first time when he brought him up, and Kojima was kind of like, okay, but at the same time he's just like, it seemed a little out of place.
Yeah.
That's how I always saw it. And then like every other time after that, I'd be like, all right, relax. Cool, but calm down. He's gonna put you in the game. You're gonna be a NPC hologram in Death Stranding. Relax.
They always have one person standing in between them now, like they got a divorce. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy out here. They definitely are aware, hence why they don't show up at Summer Games. Oh, yeah. That's why they don't show up at Summer Games Fest. This need to stop showing up, including an OA. Squared said for the YouTube, grifters spreading misinformation on Switch 2 under the guise of being pro-consumer. They don't actually care about the consumer. They want your views for their own greed. Yeah, that's super facts.
Yep.
So there's another piece here. This one actually kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Pause. Because it's a game that Vito and I we put way up there when it first came out, and that is Hogwarts Legacy. And the reason why I say it kind of rubs me the wrong way is because, well, you'll see why. But I think the only reason why this lost is because I think Tears of the Kingdom came out in the same year. For this channel at least, as Game of the Year. So, check this out real quick.
Okay, so let's talk about Hogwarts Legacy, which is a hugely popular game and also a title that has scaled, well, from the Nintendo Switch up to, high-end PC, up to, PS5 Pro, pretty much everything. So obviously this is another interesting barometer of where the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be sort of hanging in terms of the other systems. And again, I think this was the last game that we looked at, Tom, and you spent a good deal of time with it. And watching you play, my sense was that it was lacking some of the finery of the current generation versions, and at the same time, performance could be highly variable as well. It did seem to be targeting 30 frames per second, at least in the modes that we saw. I'm not sure if we could change modes, but I'm curious about your thoughts on this because you did spend a good little bit of time on it.
Yeah, it was at the tail end of the show, just before we were about to be booted out, I think. But it was worth checking because it is a very high-profile title, and the engine, the technology behind it is significant enough. This was docked play only, so we had it on the TV.
Is that an advertisement? Nintendo, you have enough money. You did this to drop the prices?
And we only had toggles for motion blur and depth of field there, so none of the, was it 7 modes? On
5.
PS5? 5, okay. So none of that. It's one way to play, and I think I'm happy with that. That's fine if they're optimizing for that. It was 30 FPS mostly. You start off it had us starting at sort of dusk outside Hogwarts itself, and the mission was to go into this sort of building with a kind of Colosseum-like fighting pit in the middle. There's a kind of creature in the middle that you've got to take down. Fairly straightforward, and I did notice a drop, if I was to nitpick, as you kind of look over into the pit. It was for sure dropping into the 20s there in the demo build anyway.
You said what, Vito?
It's
I said,
Hogwarts.
What game is he talking about? He's talking
Hogwarts
about the demo
Legacy.
to what?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the demo sound very different.
it was really solid outside of that. I managed to get some time on the broom flying across the skies towards Hogwarts, and it was a rock solid 30 there. So I'd imagine that's one of the more sort of taxing areas in terms of streaming environments quickly. So yeah, I think in terms of the visual limits, some pop in, notably shadow pop in on the trees as you fly through the sky was obvious. Nothing too glaring though, and also image quality. We pinned this at 720p on the direct footage, though there was a lot of different sort of styles of footage in that. I think 720p was the number that most consistently came up. And rather than translating to a lot of aliasing, this is more, I think the anti-aliasing method used here ends up producing a rather soft image overall. It's a little bit sort of smoothed and not very defined, but it's still very workable. Otherwise, it was what you'd expect of maybe a PS4 level experience.
Oliver, you must have some thoughts on this.
More so along the lines of a PS4 experience, and this is where we.
So let's break it down real quick. What are we exactly talking about? Like, he's saying that he's played the Hogwarts Legacy demo for Switch 2, right? Or a demo, which is weird because why not play the actual game? It's not ported over already, or?
I don't know. It was whatever
Why is he talking about a demo?
It's whatever was I think he meant demo in the sense of, like, it might possibly be the full game, but they started, like, because he's at an experience, you know what I mean? They started him off here. This is where you started. And then had you go along from that point. which is a for at least Nintendo, like even talking about the original Switch experience, um, they had Breath of the Wild on there, but it was like technically a demo. It was like the full game, but you only got to play for 15 minutes, so that they ensured that you couldn't get off of the plateau, the main plateau, because it takes longer than 15 minutes in order to beat. So, um, so yeah, so that's what they're talking about is the demo, I think. Um, and so what he's talking about here is that this new Switch 2 port of Hogwarts Legacy, unlike the original Switch, is more so along the lines of what they've gotten um, from the PlayStation 4. More so than the last generation, which they call the Switch. Though it's really weird, right? It's not like the last generation, but it's more like the PlayStation 4.
So my question is, like, would you pick up Hogwarts Legacy for the Switch too?
I will. I'll pick up Hogwarts Legacy for the Switch too. The main,
We're getting on a discount.
yeah.
Just 'cause,
Um,
money.
the main reason why I'm picking it up a second time is just purely off of support. Um, it's so like the same reason why I already own Cyberpunk, but I'm picking up Cyberpunk because they put the full game on the cartridge, like on a 64-bit cartridge, and I know that cartridge is expensive, and they still did it. Like I support that. I feel like that's something that's supportable. You know what I'm saying? In the same sentiment, WB did not have to give us another Hogwarts Legacy, and they could have easily just went back to the Switch version. And they kind of even say it in this, is that there was so much done into this version of the game that they almost had to make the game over again. You know what I'm saying? And that I think they even said that in the what do they call those, Geronimo, that they have for Switch 2, like a moment with like the developers or whatever.
Oh, the creator's voice.
Creator's voice, yeah. They originally were going to do that, just give you the Switch 1 and try to do some upgrades, but they're like, oh, we've actually got a whole lot of room, and with this updated architecture and stuff, like we can just like start all over, and it'd be easy for us to do. So they made a whole completely new version of Hogwarts Legacy for the Switch 2. I gotta support that. I feel like they didn't take the lazy route.
So since they did it from the ground up, do you think they added back in certain elements that they took out of Hogwarts Legacy, the original joint? So basically, this is like a whole new experience, or like a remake type situation, like how they did Mafia 1?
Very, very possible. I don't know if they literally said that there's like certain things that are out. I can tell you that I think there are certain pieces that are in, like the yeah, super pause.
Yeah.
Like
Let's count.
like that PlayStation 5 exclusive content. Yeah.
That's probably,
I think those elements and those pieces, because I'm pretty sure that wasn't in the original Switch. Like the original Switch version, you weren't getting that. I think there was a lot of content that was taken out of the original Switch, on top of a lot of like loading screens and stuff like that being put in the game. So it's I can definitely see if they've added that they would add more content or add a little more content to it, especially for late jumpers.
Like me.
Yeah.
Oh, you still haven't played it?
Nah, I haven't played. I was originally gonna check it out on PS5 back then, but I just was kind of like I'll just wait for a bit, and then time went on. And
Never grabbed it.
Never got it. I had it on my Steam wish list for a bit too, and it's just one of those games that got away from me. Similar to Cyberpunk, actually. Well, Cyberpunk's a little different because when it launched, it was in a terrible state.
Right.
And they fixed it.
And yeah, that game is literally different than what it started off at.
Yeah.
And I'll even say, speaking for from my experience of Hogwarts Legacy, it is definitely it definitely pulls on your heartstrings immediately with a lot of the just like even being in the castle and seeing stuff move around like is. And we've talked about it. Me and Vito have talked about it. Is it a perfect experience? No. There's still a lot of elements that they could still put in there.
Yeah.
A lot of things that they could add to it. But I think it was a very good start to something that they can expand on.
Definitely. Like it really felt more like Harry Potter than some of the like actual dedicated Harry Potter games.
Oh yeah.
You know, it like you said, it started off tugging on heartstrings, but you know, one thing that I'm really just kind of interested in as far as the Switch 2 port is you know, like what are like, okay, is it coming along with that Quidditch Champions or whatever like that? Like is that like a attached package? And on top of that, like when it comes down to like, you have the Switch version, right, Sandstorm?
No.
Okay. Well, dang.
I know Prime did. I know
Nintendo
Prime did.
Prime does, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Because but basically what I was hearing and seeing was certain things were put into the Switch version that wasn't in, you know, our version. And what I mean by certain things, like walls, like certain walls that we don't have on like the PlayStation version, just in the castle or something.
Yeah.
Is there, or you know, like something weird, like
Yeah, there's like loading screens.
Yeah, they threw. So this one is. So this is the other reason why they like completely made it over again is because they didn't have to put in loading screens. So is more akin to the PS5 and PC versions where they don't have loading screens in the game. I mean, they do, right? But things get rendered so fast that you don't really see that. So, and I know you've seen this too, Vito. Is like when you run through, especially in the castle, when you run through doors fast enough, it'll take them a second before they go and open the door. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll.
Certain doors,
so,
yeah.
So that's like
Metroid
just
Prime
the
stuff.
that's the RAM trying to pre-render the rest of the world like beyond that door. So but yeah, it's not gonna have that. And that was like specific for the Switch. Like they added a bunch of walls. You had the loading screen when you walked outside of Hogwarts. You had the loading screen when you walked inside Hogsmeade. You had a load screen when you walked inside the Forbidden Forest. So there was a lot of.
Oh, okay, yeah. That would definitely take me off. Like if you know, playing the other versions of it, I would have definitely been like, okay, no.
Yeah, and
but since they're doing that, so I guess Geronimo, like you okay, good thing you did like not play it or whatever like that, so you wouldn't even really witness that frustration.
Yeah, I was curious about it just because you know, back then when they would announce those ports, I'd be like, okay, how's it gonna come out? Like, and then I saw how when the original game came out, and I had some friends, they were playing that one, and I was like, I'll just play. I think I was playing like Xenoblade or something at the time, Xenoblade 3 or whatever. But yeah, when I saw more of it, I was like, dang, how did they get this pared down to the Switch? And then the only bits of the Switch version I've seen is that channel Switch Up. They
oh yeah.
And speaking actually to pick up on some of our Digital Foundry stuff, from time to time they'll do like kind of their own performance analysis. Not like it's super like these are the pixels, but they'll kind of have like the waveform, the frame rate and stuff, and say, oh, this is how it is, but that's just how it is. But yeah, when I saw them show like they walk to Hogsmeade loading screen for like 30-40 seconds, and then you walk in, I was like, wow, hey, you gotta make it work like that. You gotta make it work like that. But despite all that, it seemed that version sold really well.
Yeah.
Because every time, like when it first dropped, I think it was like top 5 or top 8 in the eShop, and then whenever it would go on them super sales, boom, right back up there.
Yeah. And it's weird too, because I was thinking that it was going to sell out on the physical, maybe not the eShop end, but on the physical end, because nobody would want that version of the game, and
Be surprised.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a Switch only gamer and you're still a big Harry Potter fan and fan of Hogwarts and everything,
Hmm.
I mean, there it is. But I mean, it's the full story. It didn't seem, well, at least to me, it didn't seem like they took out like the main parts of the game, like the mission. Like back in the day, you'd have like those 20 ports, and you would be missing like an entire level or two.
Yeah.
I guess there's a random example, but Rayman 2 on PlayStation 1 missed 2 whole levels that the Nintendo 64 version have. And I didn't know till I saw it with my eyes, my cousin's PS1 back in the day. So it just, they had to make concessions. But
Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah, yeah, I'm glad I waited because
Yeah.
I'll definitely grab it later on in the year for sure. It also has mouse controls, so I want to try those too.
Yeah, that's what I'm really interested in. So I'd say too the interesting piece about that, Geronimo, with the original Switch version, is like out of all the past Hogwarts games that we had, or not Hogwarts, but like Harry Potter games that we've had, all of them had like loading screens like that anyway. So if that was like the next step of us like jumping in and it was on the Switch version, I probably would have been like, okay, this is a decent game,
Yeah.
But it works. But if you go to like the PC or the PlayStation 5 version, and I think the PlayStation 4 is kind of like that, it's like a mix between the two, like, and you get more of that open world, you like, ooh.
Actually, I need to look up footage of the PS4 version since apparently the Switch 2 is PS4 level.
Yeah, but, that's wild to me. That's wild to me. They've even shown off pieces of the game talking about ray tracing and the lighting effects and stuff like that aren't even on the PlayStation 4 version. But that's neither here nor there. Whatever.
Pretty much.
I think what happens is when they go to these places, they already have their mind made up. Like, oh yeah,
Yep.
Switch is this.
Yep.
Nintendo is definitely like the lower class. So I'm a in my mind, it's already low.
Yeah.
And then when you see it, it looks good and stuff like that. Oh, it's PlayStation 4.
Yeah. I think you're right because one thing that to keep in mind of, especially when they do this, and I don't know if they necessarily even think of it, but they're quote unquote smarter than me, but is that they don't have a comparison sitting right next to it. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like they can just plop up another TV and be like, all right, here's the PlayStation 4 version. You know what I'm saying?
They're going
off memory.
They're going off of memory, and they're prejudged.
Yeah, they even put side by sides. That's why. At least if I had integrity, I try and do that with my coverage to get like a visual.
Trying to do that. They don't be trying to do that. They be like, nah. What I say goes.
Never.
What I say goes.
Never seen a PS4 version of that game.
Right.
Like, shoot.
Are you laughing at me?
PlayStation 4.
So with that being said, the scrutiny has not stopped for Nintendo, and I think we've all called it at this point.
Yep.
We've been saying this since we knew about Switch 2's pricing, is that these prices on everything are going to start going up because the tariffs are in full effect. And guess who? Guess who says their prices are going up? Microsoft.
But it doesn't matter. No one buys Xbox anyway. I've seen 3 different people say that on Twitter. Actually, all on Twitter. They're like, "Well, it doesn't matter. No one buys an Xbox."
Right.
I'm not mad.
That is wild to me. Yeah,
Sony,
like no
Sony
one
about
cares.
to pull up. Sony about to pull up.
Guess who's gonna come next? Yeah.
They
Pause.
can't. Oof, yeah, pause me. They can't keep raising the prices of everywhere else, but the U.S. on these. Like, they can't keep doing it. They're gonna do it, and then them same people can be looking silly,
Mm-hmm.
like a deer in some headlights. Like, ooh, like it's gonna be crazy.
And you know who they are blaming. So we got right here. Let me zoom in again because I keep forgetting that y'all can't see like I see on this wide screen. So
Oh man, the ultra
yeah,
wide.
yeah, that's my fault. Did it zoom in?
Good.
No, it did.
Well, it did, but it's still small.
Okay. All right.
I'm over here like, the glasses. But now I can kind of read it. Oh yeah, I can read the title.
Okay. So Microsoft hikes Xbox prices. Games hit $80. And console price jumped more than 20%.
What game are they gonna release this year? That'll be. Oh wait, are they talking about like Call of Duty?
It could be. It could be. So it says here, Microsoft recommended retail pricing for its Xbox consoles will jump at 20% for each version, according to the company announcement on Thursday. The cheapest Xbox console on the market, the Series S, for 512 gigabytes. Now, if you don't know, now you know that it is twice the gigabyte storage of what the Switch 2 has, will jump from $299 to $379.99. Ooh. A price hike of more than 26%, while the 1 terabyte version of storage will rise from $349 to $429.99, an increase of more than 22%.
This is crazy. I'm upset. This is crazy. I can't.
Right.
Oh my
Yeah,
The
today's
Xbox-
price, not today's price.
The Xbox Series X and Xbox Series X Digital will each rise $100 in price. The digital version is going from $349.99 to $549.99, and the Series X is going from $499 to a sweet $600. $599.99.
That PS3 price, that
What's
Kaz
that?
Harai, bro. Like,
Mm-hmm.
need a second job to pay one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, so Xbox just Sega. They just Sega themselves. They about to just.
Like this,
Yeah.
I
they
think,
gonna stop making
I feel like
consoles.
they know this too.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just saying, forget it. We're just gonna they're gonna up the price of everything, and then whoever pulls up to buy it, that's just what they're gonna buy it for. And
So their reasoning looks to be a little bit different. So,
okay.
in further reasoning, they say Microsoft said it's also raising its price from $80 games in time for the holiday season, following, here it is, Nintendo's footsteps after it also raised some game prices to $80 in April. It should say after raising a single game price to $80 in April, breaking the previous industry standard of $70 for games. Is that the standard? Is $70 the standard? Because I don't think it is. I think it's $60 still, and some games come at $70. But whatever.
It varies.
Microsoft did not mention Trump's tariffs by name in its announcement, though it cited market conditions and the rising cost of development as reasons for price hike.
Developing what, bro? You delayed Fable again.
What? Developing. The Fable
We don't know when
want.
Perfect Dark's coming out.
Man, that's crazy. Like, this is coming from Microsoft, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess they're pulling a Kanye right now.
Oh no.
That's all they're doing. They just want attention.
Oh man.
So, but that's definitely facts though that they're probably upping because they tear. What is going on? All right, look. Let's talk to Trump.
Ooh. The
Let's call him
orange,
up.
orange and
Talk to
chief.
Trump. Yeah, let's tell him, hey man, look here. If you want America to be great again, we need our games.
Our games especially. If you're gonna stress us out in
So what
the
you need
public
to do-
view, at least let us play our games.
Yeah.
I have so many things to say about it,
You know,
but I'm
you
gonna
know
get
he gonna
hyper
say,
political. I don't want to do that on these channels.
Get your American made games.
So
All I'm gonna say is it's because of tariffs. If anyone thinks it's not because of tariffs, you're naive, or you're acting like an ostrich, sticking your head in the sand, trying to pretend. all of our favorite hobby things are going up in price. You either gotta pay up for it if you really want it, or you gotta get real smart
Mm-hmm.
and figure out how to get it on the price you would like to buy it for. Or three,
Mm-hmm.
just focus on
Great
more
question.
important things like
So
the things that our clothes, our food, our livelihood, our rent,
yeah,
bills.
living.
Yeah,
Right.
living.
Right.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
So the question is, y'all, did y'all ever, like, before the tariff situation, we know there were price increases here and there for each generation. Do you think, like, do you think this is like too soon or right on time? Like, okay, yeah, this is gonna be the newer generation should be coming out now, so or in the works. So prices should be going up. Do you think like basically they're just kind of like
Conditioning.
yeah, conditioning, you know what I'm saying?
I think that, well, for Nintendo's sake, so far with just Mario Kart World being 80, I think they're doing it because one, the writing is on the wall, and
Mm-hmm.
two, they can get away with it because it's Mario Kart World,
Mm-hmm.
and three, all these like Nintendo, like they're all part of the ESA, right? That's the parent company of the former E3, but ESA still exists. Nintendo's a part of it. Microsoft, Xbox is a part of it. Sony is a part of it. PlayStation. They all be deliberating about stuff like this happening.
Yep.
It's not like they waking up. It's not like Phil Spencer wake up on April 2nd was like Mario Kart is $80. Who would have seen like why are they doing that? Why is the console this much? And they go back to R&D. Hey y'all, just wait a month or so, and then we'll up our prices
And we'll
too.
up our
Since
prices.
Nintendo did it, we'll let everybody that believes anything think it's their fault.
Don't worry,
Oh
we
yeah,
got y'all.
and delay Fable again.
Like Fable is ready, sir. No, it's not. Delay it. Delay
Fable was
it.
a Fable.
Delay it. Yeah, no.
Fable's never coming out. Fable's a Fable.
I
That's
I
false.
crack jokes about
They're
Fable,
not-
but I honestly think Fable will turn out to be good. It's just it's just taking a while.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's and like
Yeah.
like Jazzy said, no sandstorm is Nintendo's fault. They made Microsoft do it. Yeah, which is wild to me. Like I honestly think to be 100 is that Nintendo just jumped in at the wrong time. Like the pool, like when they jumped in, like the pool was at like 99 people. You know what I'm saying? Like they looked at the time on their phone and they said kick pool. If you don't know this, kick pool is crowded right now during this time. But if you wait about an hour, it won't be as many people there. And they're like, all right, we'll wait until about 6 o'clock. That's when they say it'll come down. And then they get there and there's a bunch of people in there and they're like, and the guard is like, there's 99 people in here, right? It can only be 100 people in the pool at a time. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, all right, well, they finna leave. They wait about 5 minutes, and then they get that run and jump in, and they see the little fat boy just slide in the pool. You know what I'm saying? There's 101 people in here.
Reach capacity. Get about that pool. Your skin shriveled up anyway from all that chlorine anyway. Get up out of there. Hop in that 10-minute shower, right? Wash it off.
What do you mean we gotta go?
Y'all gotta go. Y'all breaking the rules. You seen I was in mid jump. Where else was I supposed to jump? You should have paid attention.
Keep on talking. We're gonna bang
A
this
month. It's tough.
Yeah, so I think they came back into a new generation. It just so happened to be the wrong time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Do I think that realistically they wanted to make Mario Kart $80? No, I guarantee you that was probably going to be a $70 game, or it could have even still been an $80 game, while all the other games were going to be $70. But I think now that the tariffs and all that stuff are in play, they're like, along with all the other companies, they're like, ooh, can't exactly do 70 anymore because that's kind of killing us. Like we gotta do something extra. And I think it wasn't even just for them, for Microsoft. And I think I alluded to this last week, right, when we were talking about getting the Switch too, and trying to grab our accessories early, right? So, Microsoft, all of Microsoft's accessories are going up in price, by quite a margin. So none of that stuff is going to be cheap. And I talked about this last week about how they were saying that the price for Switch 2 was the right price. That was the price that they were going to come out with anyway, but they were still trying to get ahead of tariffs to be able to escape, that price. But all the stuff for their accessories were like an unlimited commodity because all that stuff still had to come over from Taiwan or Japan or China, wherever it comes from. So those prices were going to be even steeper. Now here comes Microsoft doing the same thing. Yeah, Jazzy, he said tariffs don't affect Nintendo. They're just greedy, which is wild to me that somebody would fully even believe that. Like the greed, the gall and the greed. I've even seen somebody have like a whole video of the gall and the greed of Nintendo. And I'll say this. I'll say this, not full advocate for the wrong side, but 9 times out of 10, the successful console maker from the generation before is usually the one who gets too greedy, and we've seen it. And and the only time I would say that it really wasn't that situation is when PlayStation won the generation of the N64 PlayStation era, because the PlayStation 2 turned out right. But when they really got greedy, was like, oh, we really making money out here, they really want our stuff, is when they jumped into the PlayStation 3 era. And you see how that started off. They got too greedy with the price. $600, $700, $800. Who do they think they robbing? Chelsea Clinton?
The way they were talking at that I'm telling you, that E3 2006, that Sony conference. I forgot what channel it's called. There's a channel on YouTube. They've uploaded that in like a higher resolution and stuff. So it actually looks pretty good. And they have the full hour and a half, 2 hour thing on there. The way they were talking during that, man, you're like. It was acting as if like Nintendo was gonna be super irrelevant. Xbox was gonna be super irrelevant.
Yeah,
They were
trying to blow everybody out the water. Listen, this is the premium system that you want. This is the premium device. It's gonna do everything. It's gonna even drive you to work. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
It came with and many of y'all don't know this, showing our age. But the original PlayStation 3 controller was the Batarang. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, that Batarang. When they showed that, they showed that in 05. When they showed that, I was like, who is this made for? I'm not, like, I don't even know if that thing had 2 sticks on it. I think it did. No, well, I don't know about the triggers and bumper.
You said
the original PlayStation 3 controller. Like before they came out with the final. Let me see if I can find it.
Are you looking for it? Okay. Cool.
Yeah, PS3.
It had sticks on it. It was just weird though. It was weird as heck.
I found it. It looks so strange. The way the thumbsticks are in it, like
yeah.
You gotta have like. I'm sorry. It's just such a stupid looking controller.
Yeah.
Hey, pull it up.
Yeah.
Pull up on the screen.
This is a Reddit post. Oh my goodness. Yeah, those days were strange because I remember what was it? That was when like Nintendo just called the Wii the Revolution, and they had like I remember they had this render on like an old news site. It had like 5 colors. They had the black, the white, like a silver, a lime green, and like a candy apple red. Yep. And I thought that looked so good. I was like, yo, let me get that green one, bro.
I got you. Here it is. Yeah, it does. It's wild. It's wild. That's what you get right there.
Like who's
straight
that,
straight batarang. You know what I'm
who's that
saying?
made for? Like,
Yeah, and you're right. It doesn't really even have the two set. It doesn't have the triggers. I don't even know if it has even the top buttons.
Crazy. Yeah, it do. You can see it.
Oh, this little piece.
oh yeah, I can
Like,
kind of
zoom
see
in on
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does
Yeah,
it even
that's
have
all.
triggers? I've never seen what the back of this thing looks like. Does it even have triggers?
Yo, that look like a Messiah, bro.
Like yeah, right.
Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. You're right. It's got two buttons on the top.
Who's
That's-
gonna reach that PlayStation home button in the middle there?
That's
Who's gonna
wild.
reach that?
That's wild. Wow.
Nah, that's crazy.
That's why I like
wilding
controllers.
on that.
Like they're just
They
so
was wilding on that.
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
so weird. I don't even know why they like showed it
They
off.
was-
Like
they
this
was
is
tripping.
it, guys. Like why?
Like, check this out. This is a cool
It's
design.
not
No, it's
like
not.
it, like
Nah.
even like the first
Go
Wii U
home.
gamepad, which really was just like it didn't have true analog sticks. It had like the 3DS circle pads, which then I was like that's not gonna work, and they knew that. And they
Oh, for the Wii U? Yeah.
yeah, that was
Like you don't even have clickable buttons. Like that's
yeah, it was weird to me. But I remember them saying it was an early version. I was like, it better be.
yeah.
Because I was like, that was E3 2011. That or as Shadow Fox called the infamous E3.
yeah.
But
yeah.
but yeah, so yeah, it's weird stuff, weird times.
So RJ, yes. He said, saw a post on Twitter where it shows Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft teamed up to tell Trump not to do this because they knew the outrage was coming their way. Yeah.
I could believe it. They probably told ESA lobbyists, do your thing, use the money, and tell them stop.
Yeah, because I think he even wanted to do this back in 19, when he was president, and so
He rose tariffs for China then. Most people don't remember that though.
yeah.
That's why Nintendo's development stuff was Switch originally and now Switch 2 is mostly in Vietnam. So
Yeah. Yep.
That's why.
So yep, that's why so they pushed for that back then, and that's probably why they're pushing the same way again. I know he'll be like, "Boo!" Well, he don't really do that, but "Boo! Boo! Monopoly."
Like Futurama with Nixon.
Yeah.
You know what he'll do? He'll be like, no, the tariff is very good. Our trades are very good. The idea.
You got to do the accordion hands.
Yeah.
That's how you know when he's talking out of his depth. He's like,
It's a
when they're in place, everyone will know that the prices will come down in time, and they'll all be winning. You know, we win with our PlayStations and our Nintendos, our Xbox, the Microsofts. Yeah, it's just the
all the sauce, all
the
the
accordion
sauce.
hands.
Who
Yeah.
are you exactly? A Nintendo? I don't even know what a Nintendo is. I've never even had a Nintendo in my life.
Probably
Who
has
are you?
small hands. But anyway,
You know him. He would be like, I knew the original owner of Nintendo.
That's right.
we
We
used
go
to have
way
one
back.
in every casino, all three,
Yes,
before they closed.
I used to play all the Marios and the jumping.
I had the PlayStation. I had the Nintendo PlayStation. Y'all didn't
Oh
even
my
have that.
God.
Y'all didn't even have the Nintendo PlayStation.
The-
You'd be
I was the only one. I was the only one who had great times back then. Great times back then.
It had a disc and a cartridge. It was good. It was great. It was great. My kids played it. They loved it.
But the Nintendos, I see all these kids with the Nintendos, and I'm thinking, why are they playing the Nintendos? All they do is play with guns. And I'm not for gun violence, but I am for a right to bear arms.
Right. Contradictory statements. 24/7.
So Jazzy says, the post was back in 2019. It was a joint letter by 3. Okay, yep.
That makes more sense, actually.
Yep.
Okay.
Sony found aliens and thought they could sell them PS3s too.
You see Ridge Racer?
Ridge Racer! Yeah, you remember that? Ridge Racer!
Oh, man.
They got so quiet on that. Everybody's like, ain't nobody want no Ridge Racer.
Man. Looking back, though, if I did grow with more PlayStation, so I probably would have been a big Ridge Racer fan, just straight up. Because I do like my racing games, but yeah, I don't know, man. Just they were high on their own supply back then.
Yeah.
They on a different supply now. But anyway.
Oh my gosh. Oh man, I'm gonna have to go find that video of him. Ridge Racer.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I might post it on Twitter too. Just be like, yo, just for old time's sake.
They were so happy. They were so happy to be the first ones to announce it, and they got no applause.
Nope. Not at all.
Everybody looking like,
Yo, like that old meme picture from like the IGN dude just sitting there like.
hey, you probably had somebody in the crowd looking like that dude behind the
Right. Man. Theme.
Oh
my God.
Man. It's nothing but clown shoes over there, man.
Hey man, how long you gonna have him on your back?
Anybody just pull the stream like, who is that guy?
Yo, is nobody you even need to concern yourself with.
Be like, hey, Sandstorm, there's somebody behind you. Sandstorm, there's somebody. No, he's looking at dog. His.
I just want a bite. Just give me a bite.
Oh man.
Hey, he said, man, hey Sandstorm. Hey Sandstorm. Hey Sandstorm. Hi.
Yo, he really does. Like, yeah, now that's unfortunate.
Yo, that's crazy.
Next time I see video cam talk, I'm be like, oh man. I don't even like have any beef with that dude in particular. It's just like, I don't really have any real beef with that dude. It's I don't really have beef with any individual.
Besides the fact that he has a very like calming, boring, sleeping.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? That's the only gripe I got.
You gotta have some.
But
other
than that,
attentive.
Yeah. So I finally found the video for my Ridge Racer piece. So I'm gonna be checking that out later.
Hey.
Ridge Racer. So expect on the next channel or the next show next week. That'll probably be how we start.
Oh, good. Oh, that's gonna be fun. Ridge Racer.
And all of us look like
this. Oh my god.
We're like talking beforehand, like, man, I cannot wait for this. This conference, man. This is gonna go crazy. We on a PlayStation 3. This is about to be amazing. Now introducing from Namco Bandai, Ridge Racer.
They need to make another one of those though, for real. Like,
another one is coming if I'm not if I'm not mistaken. I feel like another one was showing up soon.
Well, there was the one. Well, actually, what was it in the past month?
Yeah,
yeah.
Maybe it was the arcade joint, right?
Yeah. I'm actually gonna get that. That's gonna be a day one scoop for me. Because I never played any of the arcade ones. Period. Yeah, it's on the Arcade Archives 2. Yeah, I don't know how much it's gonna cost. It's probably be like $6-7, probably less than $10. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we are gonna get up out of here. I got some preparations to do for tomorrow because it is going to be quite a long day of driving and running back and forth. Baby Sandstorm's got a game that's like an hour away for soccer, so
on a Sunday.
yeah, no. It's what happens when you're on a travel team.
Hey, where
St. Joe.
Though?
Yeah.
Oh.
So we got to go over by Benton Harbor. So yeah. So we gotta go out there. And it's crazy because the following week or 2 weeks from then she's got a tournament game, so she's gonna be traveling heavy again too. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot. So with that being said, thank you for everybody coming through. Jazzy, Square, RJ, Joycey held on for a long time today. That's what's up. I really appreciate that because I know Prime is good.
Hey, she was on somebody's stream.
Yeah, it was probably either Prime's or what's the one that she's usually in?
I think it was Paul Gale's show.
Paul Gale, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Paul Gale.
Like a few weeks ago on the homepage, because I knew Paul Gale on Twitter, but I didn't really know he had a YouTube channel.
Neither
like
did
that.
I. Yeah,
and a podcast show as well. And then I saw his stream popped up on like the homepage, and I was like, oh, this is Paul Gale's channel. I clicked it, and I was like, oh, look at this panel. I recognized him, and I recognized what's his name? Mike Odyssey or someone like that. I've seen that name before on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Just over time. And I saw Josie on there, and I was like, oh, is that Josie there? That's funny.
Yeah.
Where are the eyes? Like, what the heck? I was like, oh, there she is. That's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It still throws me because Joycey is awesome. She's a
cool.
great woman. Yeah. And it's just like, yo, you be on these podcasts though.
Right. Pretty dope.
Okay. We'll have to invite you at some point. We had to get you.
Yeah, we'll have to get on the show.
Yeah, we definitely should if possible.
And that's actually where I was going through with that too. I was like, I saw her on the podcast, so I know she got the equipment. So.
But she don't want to say nothing. Okay.
Yeah, she up here just secretly on the podcast. Then you upload a clip today, like, what? I ain't watching that whole episode. Pretty cool.
Clean.
Pretty dope.
So we'll probably have to get her for her Switch 2. Actually, when we all get the system, our experiences for.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. I know she's not here now, but somebody can go tell her in the Prime chat. They're trying to recruit you for a guest appearance.
Next time one of those streams pop up, I usually lurk a lot of the time, where I'll just say, hey, yo, what up, and I'll just proceed to lurk. I might chime in a few times.
All right, for sure. So thank you again, Lack. Thank you for coming through, bro. Appreciate you showing up. Brandon Smith, Exodia was in the booth. Jay Biggs was in the booth. And who was the first one to hop in? Oh, RJ. So we didn't see Dark Void. Was Dark Void here?
I didn't see him. Or at least...
Yeah. He is.
Oh,
he was the one who was talking about Express. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, my bad. Oh, yeah, early on. Yeah. That's right. My bad.
Yep. And Ebbs, thank you for coming through. And thank you, Jessica, so much for coming through. Greatly appreciate it. Before we get up out of here, Geronimo, what you got up for us?
On Exodia, of course. Again, another great episode. Great to be here. As far as things in the channel, this week I did my channel update. Not too long of a video. Really just me sitting down chatting with y'all, get on the camera and everything, and just talking about my plans for the Switch 2 launch, what kind of content, unboxing, so on. So what games I'm gonna be uploading content or uploading videos of, and also. I put up a video about the GTA 6 delay and why I think it's coming to Switch 2. So feel free to check that video out if y'all haven't already. And then this week coming up, well, actually tomorrow's gonna be content day. I'm gonna be recording a bunch of stuff. And actually, Vito, since this is something you actually asked me about a while back on one of my older videos, I will be doing the controller collection video. I will be doing it. I will be taking out the bin and going through them and be like, all right, here we go. So that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be a fun video. So that's gonna drop sometime this week. Just keep tabs on the YouTube posts I'll be making, socials, Blue Sky, Twitter. Appreciate y'all. And that's it. We just rocking and rolling.
All right.
Just a month away till Switch 2.
Month away.
Ooh boy.
It's right there.
We're getting there.
It's right there.
Yep.
All right, Vito. What you got up for us?
All right, so I dropped late. I dropped my new video it's supposed to be yesterday's Vitoverse, but I dropped it today. It was all late night type stuff, and stuff happened. But anyway, I dropped that. So if y'all didn't get a chance to check that out, it's titled Harry Potter, May the 4th, and Cinco de Mayo. So it's named that in the title. So basically, I'm just saying happy Cinco de Mayo and May the 4th and happy Harry Potter Day from yesterday to all my Ravenclaws because all the rest of the house don't
Whoa.
matter. But you know what I'm saying?
You're gonna have to relax with that. You're gonna have to
Claw,
relax
baby.
with that.
It's the claw, baby. It's the claw, baby.
Oh, you gotta relax. We Gryffindor gang out here.
Yeah.
Gryffindor gang, you know what I'm saying? That Crimson and Gold, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, you
Yeah,
see,
if I had to throw, let me see.
I need to
Yeah,
get a
have you seen the
Gryffindor thing
ambiance?
here.
You know what
for
you know what it is up there.
Okay,
You know what it
okay,
is.
okay.
Yeah, you outnumbered. You outnumbered. A whole bunch of glue.
I mean, I got the Gryffindor, but I keep the Thule on me, bro. Amanda said, "Oh, I already know what you need, bro. Come on through, bro."
Oh man, that's crazy. And here's my thing. I normally keep my wine right here, but it's in the car
Oh,
for some
hey
reason.
man, when
I
you on the go, you never know what happens. Oh, you got up there. Okay, see, okay. All right, I'm gonna have to get a Griffin. I'm gonna have to get some Gryffindor merch for sure.
He said, you don't want it over here, cuh? You don't want it over here, cuh?
I keep it on me. I keep it on me. You muggles be playing games.
Yo, that's crazy.
Bless you.
Excuse me. But yeah, so happy, you know what I'm saying, all those special days and stuff like that, especially Cinco de Mayo. I definitely love my Latin family, so definitely shout out to them. Well, should I say Mexican to be specific, because not every Latino or Latina is celebrating this holiday. It's not for everybody, you know what I'm saying? But definitely the Mexicans, you know, so they're very heavy. They're here in Georgia. We got this one spot in Gwinnett County called Little Mexico, and it's gonna be jumping tomorrow. Like they gonna be barbecuing or what cañacera or whatever, however you say that. They're gonna be having all that out there, and I'm gonna be up here driving down Buford Highway on Little Mexico, and I'm gonna be up here getting a lot of stuff. So yeah, so shout out to them. They've been partying all weekend. Matter of fact, a lot of people are doing their stuff. Speaking of, I live at the minor league baseball teams for the Braves. I live at their stadium, so they're doing their Star Wars night. So right now, I think if it's not canceled because it's thundering and lightning out here.
Yes, it is.
They should have been playing one of the Star Wars movies out on the jumbo screen out there. So there's all types of stuff going on right now. But anyway, my video from yesterday, I really wasn't talking about much. Did my reactions, had my little music on there or whatever like that. So check that out. Give it a support. Hit that like. We're doing that giveaway to a what I say it was? I say gift card to a streaming service over on that channel for our road to 300. So, hey, keep on telling a friend, tell a friend. We're halfway there. We're at 250 as of today. So, yeah, we're almost there. So
50 more.
50 more people. And then we're there. We're doing a raffle. You guys can get into that gift card. Here's the crazy thing. When we get into my 500, y'all definitely going to be wanting to tell people to, you know what I'm saying, like subscribe. I'm gonna give everybody a chance to get this prize. It's gonna be a big prize. So
I didn't think it would do a
I'm
giveaway.
gonna actually announce that next week on the Vitoverse on what it is. So definitely stay tuned for all that. But again, next week is the Vitoverse live. Yesterday was Nunami. Shout out to Nautical Yui. We hold it down for him every Saturday since he can't be here. We go ahead and shout him out. So shout out to Nautical Yui. You know what I mean? He's definitely he's been on Saturdays at dude, Peter Griffin is throwing me off every time I look at him. That is messing me up. but yeah, so yeah, shout out to Noto and Sandstorm, of course, you know, here on every Saturday. Hopefully I can make it on time next week. But I'm every time I'm late, I'm coming from my grandparents' house trying to spend a little time with them or help them with something, or, give my granddad a shave because he's bald and he likes to, act like we're in a barbershop. So I go ahead and get him right, get him tight. You know what I mean? Pause. I get him right. You know what I'm saying? Tapered up.
That's what's up. Hey, that's good. Keep the fresh line up there.
Mm-hmm.
What just happened again?
Yeah, it did flip it. And it flipped back again, and it flipped again. We flip-flopping as much as Digital Foundry been doing lately. What's going on here?
That is crazy.
Hey,
yo.
Sandstorm, it's old buddy behind you, man. I don't know.
Right.
They
I'm
infiltrated.
telling you, dude, man. The dude is, hey man, get people.
You said I don't like the way you
man,
talking about my show. I don't like the way you talking about my
It
channel.
is PS4 power. And
Right.
you're gonna have to accept it.
But anyway, but yeah, so that's all I got over for the Vitoverse. And shout out to our associate channels as well. I definitely got to do some stuff with Jay, especially dealing with I think Comic-Con is next month. Yo,
Yo, we flip. Actually, can I? Well, I mean, mine's not interesting, but I don't know if I can flip mine. I'll figure it out another day. Comic-Con next month. That sounds right. It's either
I
June
think
or
so.
July.
I think
It's some summer month.
it's a summer month, but it's you know, and is it Comic-Con or
Well, PAX is
what's
next
the,
weekend.
What's the
I
San
think.
Diego?
PAX East, but that's not Comic-Con.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. It's not,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's similar. But you know.
It's similar. Nobody care about it. No, I'm playing.
Then they'll do sometimes. They'd be like, "Here's our schedule for PAX this weekend."
Right.
I mean, they're probably gonna do well, not because Switch 2 ain't out, but they're probably gonna do it for the later one.
Yeah.
For Switch 2.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, definitely. But yeah, next month I think, or whenever Comic-Con is, we gonna have to do some stuff with Jay or Pauls. We got to do some stuff with Winging It Podcast or whatever. Bring some people over. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely should.
We trying to get more into the cons. You know what I'm saying? A lot of stuff happened during those times, and I'm trying to get Sandstorm down here to Atlanta to attend one of our cons down here. We have MomoCon, DragonCon, Japan.
I usually go to MomoCon a bunch.
Oh, I know somebody who I want
I've
to
been
go
like
with.
4 different years. Yeah.
Yeah. Momo. I don't think I actually been to a con. To be honest, I think I've been to Drag. Oh no. Hey, Sandstorm. You know what's crazy? That year that you came down here for my graduation, right? Or right after, whatever. That was DragonCon.
Ah, okay.
And so I think there was one other year where I accidentally attended somewhat of a Dragon Con event that was in this hotel because I was down.
I've heard stories, bro. You get.
Also,
I heard some stories.
we everybody was down there, so it was kind of like I accidentally attended one, and I was like, oh, I was at a con, sorta. I don't think I had.
Might have been one at one of those after parties.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Freaknik.
Man.
Yeah, something like that. I mean,
Atlanta
actually,
ain't
the
equipped for
cons
Freaknik
do
no
get
more.
crazy down here. Well, yeah, no, they definitely get. Ain't none of that. You got to be inside of a building to do that now. So you know what I'm saying, like, but and they're disguised in cons. So when you go to these cons, yep, you better be.
Yeah. That's the truth.
That's all I got.
Not
For you.
wrong.
You better be single, or be fair to fight somebody that got a boyfriend or girlfriend in that thing. Yeah, they're yeah, it gets crazy up in there. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, but yeah, that's all I got for it. For the Vitoverse. Vito variant still not. I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with that. The Vito variants episode. I think I want to come in doing reactions again, but there's other stuff like the video game world, like Expedition 33. I actually want to cover. You know what I'm saying? And talk about and do some gameplay on, but I'm kind of iffy on it. But you know what I mean? I'll figure it out. And Vitoverse music, that's gonna be on a pause until something happens, like Drake falls off stage. it gotta be something.
This just
crazy.
in, Gravity don't like Drake either. I'm just, I like his old stuff. That's all I can relate.
But yeah, so yeah, that's all I got up for.
Okay.
Channel.
So for the Stormcast, y'all know how we do. Every Saturday. That's how we get it. Every Saturday. I'm gonna look this way. Every Saturday. You want to say something? Sandstorm, can I say something? Can I say something? Can I say something, Sandstorm? Can I say something? No, Peter. No, Peter.
Ah, Lois, you're never any fun. I used to practice Peter Griffin's voice when I used to watch the show.
Yo, that was spot on, bro. That was crazy, bro. That was spot on.
Oh, God.
No one.
Oh snap! Hey man, we're gonna have you do
Right.
impression.
I have to think about it. I can do some decent impressions. Yeah.
No one wants to play with me.
Cool.
All right. So every Saturday at 7 o'clock, we have the Stormcast. Y'all know how we do. Make sure you hit the like button as well. Real quickly
like.
here, y'all know how y'all know we got this giveaway for Switch 2. On the Twitter, we actually have hit a 1,000 followers on Twitter. We're at 1,018, which is awesome. That's amazing.
Nice.
And we pulled that in a week's amount of time. We were like roughly like at 530 something followers. We're now at 1,018. That's amazing. But guess how many followers or subscribers we have on the Sandstorm Show? 167. So you know what that tells me? A lot of people did not do their homework. So you have a very good chance of winning this Switch too. But make sure that you guys follow the link as well. I don't have it in the description on this video, but I will have it in the description, as well as all the affiliate channels, Geronimo's, Vito's, Nodoka Yui's channel, the Winging It Podcast, and Jill on there, so you guys can check all of those out. Make sure that you are subscribed to each and every single one of those so you get all the notifications that we have. With that being said, on Sunday at 7 o'clock again is the Winging It Podcast. We are going to have a great conversation over there. If you want some insight on what the conversation is going to be, the title is Here We Go Again, yet again. And we will be talking about something such as the Switch update, which is something that... Did y'all notice that update came in?
I totally forgot. Yeah. Well, no, I got the update. I actually totally forgot, like, to even mention it. It was pretty exciting, not gonna lie, because you know they had like the game shared and the virtual game card icons, and they changed the eShop one. It felt like a glimpse into the near future.
Yeah, like they really prepared for this.
And I was clicking through, even though I couldn't do nothing. I was just like, "Yo, it's here!"
Yeah, they setting up. And it's crazy too. It's crazy too because if you weren't, so I had an experience. I was actually at the laundromat doing my stuff, and like I seen all the icons at the bottom of, and what's so wild to me, and this is why I love Nintendo so much, is I hadn't done the update yet, and I had gotten to the laundromat, and there's no Wi-Fi for the laundromat, right? So I'm trying to get into any of my games, and they're like, "Yeah, you need this update." And so I'm like, dang, well, let me just go ahead and, I clicked the update button. And like, first thing in my mind is like, it's going to register as like, you need online in order to do it. But it does that, like, it was just like, update complete. And then it turned off the whole Switch and then turned it back on. I have to say this. The updates for Switch are way faster than everything else. Way faster than everything else when it comes to actually updating the console itself. The only problem is that in order for me to now use all my digital stuff, I would have to get back online so it can register. Yeah. So I'm like, ooh, this sucks. I can only literally play cartridge related stuff. But it wasn't a big deal. But anyway, that's all I wanted to throw out. So yeah, we're talking about the Switch update. There will be a talk about the price increase and about GTA 6, along with other things that are happening. And then on Monday, we have the Jill podcast, which also starts at 7 o'clock. That's why I synced everybody's up to 7 o'clock. So we were all in sync for the big podcast. Make sure we were all in the group. I have no clue what we're talking about because we don't never know until we actually get on that show. And I just kind of sit back and wait for my turn to say some words. And then I say some words and I chill. I do not stress on that podcast because it can be very stressful. But love it to death anyway. But other than that, that is all we have. Thank you guys so much for coming through. We really appreciate you all that showed up in our YouTube, on our Twitter, and through Twitch. I'm trying to think of the name. And through Twitch. We really appreciate you guys. We will see you guys later.